What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing two looks with the new wine themed collection from Colourpop, and I'm gonna be really real with you. I could not have timed this more poorly. Today is January 2nd when I'm filming this. You'll see it a little bit later than that. I decided it was a really good idea to clean up my diet and completely cut out alcohol for a couple of weeks. Starting today. Today is the first day that I'm doing this. And my original intention was to buy this collection and drink a bunch of wine with you guys while I did this. But now I can't because I want to stick to my plans of health and wellness and get the good new year off to a good old start, and what the fuck. So my dumbass will not be drinking any wine today, but I will be applying many wine shades to my face. I got one of the sets that they had available through Colourpop. I got the wine and only palette. There was a 2-set of Super Shock shadows and a liquid liner. As always, I'll timestamp and video chapter everything, so if you guys want to come back to one of the looks I recreated, it's super easy for you. Everything will be linked in the description. You should subscribe if you're new around here, because I'd love to have you hang out and chill with us for more videos. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy it, because I find it very helpful, as most YouTubers do, and I would very much appreciate you for it. I feel like I'm not as entertaining as usual today. I don't know why that is. Maybe, but God, I hope I'm not gonna bore the shit out of you guys, because I'm just like it's almost as if I have it together a little bit right now. But maybe I'm speaking too soon. Let's see how the video unfolds. Let's just get right into it. This is look number one. We're gonna do this one first with the Colourpop Wine and Only palette. I've got a real founding fathers ponytail situation going on here. Elf sent me like scrunchies, like scrunchies, and I haven't used one of those in I don't know, 30 years probably. And I'll be honest with you, it's ugly and I hate the way they look. And if you like the way scrunchies look, I'm sorry, I think they're ugly. But wow, the comfort, the convenience, the ability to sleep in them, wow, beautiful things have happened in my life since I've been using scrunchies again. So thank you, Elf. The first look, I'm gonna do one of my, I hate to say signature shapes or signature looks, because I feel like it just sounds dumb to me. Like, I don't even feel like I have a signature or anything. But something I like to do often is like do a really strong inner corner and then a little bit more of like a bare lid, and then pair it with like a really cool wing. So I think that's what we're gonna do today. Now, the first thing that jumps out to me about this palette, it doesn't really seem like there's a solid transition shade in here, which I'm gonna go with Sip Sip. Even though it has some sequins in it, it's one of those matte shades. There's a lot of those in this. You know how I feel about that, but they're all right. We're gonna be okay with them. I just hope this one works as a transition. So I'm gonna start my BH number 7, and I'm gonna use that in the inner corner and build it up, and I'm gonna let it get like sloppily down onto the lid, because I'm either gonna cover it with something else or cut the inner corner, and I haven't decided which yet. I'm gonna grab a clean blending brush and blend the edges of that out, and I'm gonna just take what's on my lid and like flick it toward the outer half. So I'm blending it and it kind of just fades away, but we're not adding any extra product, so it's only gonna go so far. I'm bringing that about halfway, like it's gone by the halfway point, you know? All right, I'm gonna grab the color Wine Down. This is a Super Shock shadow that was in this collection too. It's not part of the palette, but it is part of the collection. And I'm gonna pick that up on a Luxie 111 mini brush. And I'm gonna start packing that into the center of where we put down that matte shade. And just like the first color, we're just gonna let it fade out as it gets closer, but I'm also gonna bring a little bit of it onto the inner corner and the inner part of the lid over here. Just like before, flick over the edge to blend that out toward the outer half. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna do a cut crease on the inner corner. I think I'm gonna leave it soft like this, because I like, first of all, I like that like glamorous bruise effect I have going on right now, but I also like the idea of like a soft thing like that with like the hard wing, you know, the combination of different textures and shit. We talk about the fact that they actually took The Office off of Netflix. Like, what the fuck? I thought they were kidding. I thought they were trolling us. I'm gonna grab that same Luxie 111 mini, and I'm gonna go right into the shade Play to Wine, and I'm gonna use this even more concentrated in the center of what colors we just put down, really just packing it on the inner corner for like a little bit more of a pop of a rich red. I don't want to cover up the whole area where we put that Super Shock because the color and texture of that Super Shock is really pretty. I'm actually going to go back into a little bit more of that and blend it back in. I really just want a little bit more of a pop of a bright red on the inner corner. The other thing that I got in this collection is this little liner here. It's called Why Not? And you know what? That's exactly what I thought to myself when I was purchasing it. Like a liquid wine red eyeliner. Like how do I not already have one of those? I have a gel, which is beautiful. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. But like liquid is faster. Gel is better for other reasons, but liquid is like the most convenient form of eyeliner in like a little pen like this. How do I not already own that? Anyway, I own it now. Here we are. And I'm gonna do a big ass, fat ass, real tapered wing to go along with this because that'll balance this all out and make this look a little bit less like I got punched in the face. Although like I am feeling good about this punched in the face vibe that I have going on right now. It goes well with my founding father's ponytail. As usual, just starting from the lower lash line and using that to measure where I put my wing, just bringing it right out to point up toward the end of my eyebrow. That's a pretty dark red. I'm gonna be honest, I was hoping it was gonna be brighter, but you know what? It's fine. I also just realized I don't think I ever used a Colourpop liquid liner before. Have I? You guys tell me. You watch my videos. I don't remember. I don't think this is waterproof though, which you guys know I have the wateriest eyes in the world, so it's probably not a great thing. That's fun, but I do feel like it's a little uneven, and I'm gonna wait for it to dry while I do other things and then go back over it because it's like settling in some of my lines real funny. I'm gonna grab a nude pencil for the waterline. This one is from the Balm. Just pop it right through the waterline, brighten things up, and keep it real nice and light and airy fairy down there. I don't really want the under eye to have anything on it except for lower lash mascara today. Like I think I really want it to be like lifted and topside heavy. Are we on board for that? All right, let's try to even this out with another layer because no. All right, that's a little bit better, but it's not perfect. So we're at like a 6 out of 10 on this liner so far. Actually, let's make it 5 out of 10 because I do think it is not waterproof. So don't like it, not that crazy about it. It's just all right. We're gonna stick with my gel one from now on. Okay. All right, I finished up my skin. I put on a hat because my hair is just, ooh, is it having a moment today and not in a good way. And I'm not ready to wash it just yet. And it's gross out, so a hat is appropriate, you know? Worked out great. I put on House of Lashes Siren Flare. You guys know I fucking love those lashes, so no great surprise there. And for the lip, I want to do something that is in the color family of this, but I don't want to go straight up like a wine red lip on this look. I want to let the eyes speak for themselves a little bit. So I'm going to use the color Girlfriend from BUXOM in this gloss. It has like a pinky, winey kind of an undertone, so I think that'll go nice with it. And I'm going to line with the Bodyography Heatherberry lip pencil just to define my lips just a touch, especially along the top. This color is like really close to my natural lip shade. We've talked about this before, but just in case you hadn't heard me talk about it, I like to use this to like put under a gloss when I don't want it to look like there's anything under the gloss. You know, Shane? And this is the first look. All right, for look number 2, I'm thinking maybe we're gonna get a little grungy with it. And I know for certain that I want to go into this shade Grateful because while it is one of those annoying sequin shades, it is a fun, more interesting one. So we're gonna make the best of it. I'm thinking a spotlight, you know, at least on the top. I don't know what I'm gonna do on the bottom yet. We're gonna decide when we get there, but I'm gonna start by going into the shade Major Chianti on a BH number 7. And I'm gonna just put that in the crease on the outer and inner portion and leave the center open. And I'm gonna bring that all the way down to the outer corner of the eye. Once I have that down where I vaguely want it to live, I'm gonna grab a clean brush. This is a Sigma E36, and I'm just gonna go over the edges of that. This is not a Sigma E36, this is a MAC 221. Wow, sorry about that. But I'm just gonna run over the edges of that in little circular motions to blend that shade out. I do want it to be a little bit grungy and a little bit stark, so therefore I don't want to over blend it or put like a ton of transition colors in there. But I do want it to be blended, because like, unblended? No. I'm gonna take my ring finger and I'm gonna go into the shade Cast a Chateau. And I'm gonna dab that right on the center of the lid. And I'm gonna bring that right all the way up through the crease and then just lightly blend the matte into the shimmer. I'm gonna grab my NABLA Soft Dab and Smudge Brush and I'm gonna go into that shade Grateful that we talked about earlier, and I'm gonna press that over the inner and outer corner areas, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way up like I did with the other shade, so that way this is like the color that blends out into that color. Does that make sense? Why did I make that so overcomplicated? I'm gonna wipe that brush off and go back into a little bit of Major Chianti and just use that on that brush to blend those two together. And I'm gonna use a little bit more of that to blend that shade into the center where we put down that shimmer. All right, I've got a lot of fallout going on. I'm looking a bit of a mess, but it's part of the plan, I think. I'm gonna grab the Super Shock Shadow in the shade Muse. I'm gonna pick that up on my ring finger as well, and I'm just gonna pop that on the center of the lid. See if we can get a little bit more of like a metallic sheen. No, not really. Looks pretty much exactly the same as it looked with just the other shade on it, maybe with a tiny touch more shine, maybe. Not a whole lot though. I don't really think this Super Shock is very necessary when compared with the rest of the palette. Perhaps it's too soon to draw a conclusion, but that's what I'm concluding right now. I am going to clean up under the eyes, but while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to grab the Urban Decay pencil in the color Alkaline because it's matchy-matchy, and I'm also going to grab the Urban Decay pencil in the color Lannister Gold. Any kind of like antique-y gold color will do, because I know this one was very much limited edition and super old. But I'm going to put the burgundy on the outer portions of my waterline, and I'm just going to pop Lannister Gold right in the center to continue that little spotlight effect. Maybe a little amplify the effect a little bit, since the color on the lid is like, not doing what I thought it was going to do. You know what? I'm going to go clean up this under eye area, and we'll reassess the situation. I cleaned that up, I concealed, I put down a little powder so we can catch whatever fallout we've got going on, because there was, ooh, wow, there was a lot. It was significant. I'm gonna grab that MAC 221 brush again and go back into Major Chianti. I'm gonna start buffing that into the outer and inner portions of the underneath side of the eye, just using little circles. I want it to be kind of blown out, but I don't want it to go too far. And I also want to keep control over the shape on the outer corner, so I can make it like not too round. Like I still want it to be a little bit lifted, I think. That's working. Okay, I think this might come together still. I'm gonna do the same thing on the inner corner. Now, every time I do this kind of a look, I like to, in this instance, leave my inner corner very dark. I don't mind the look of a dark inner corner. Some people find that if they do a dark inner corner without like adding a little pop of highlight in there, that it makes them look tired or like it's too grungy for their taste. So if you like to, just feel free to pop a little bit of a inner corner highlight over that shade, and it'll kind of bring that portion of the eye forward and make it look a little bit more awake again. Personally, if I was gonna do it, I would go with this bright red in here just for like a little funsies, but you know what? That's just me. Do what you wanna do. I think for this center portion, I'm gonna go right into the Super Shock Shadow and see if it looks a little bit brighter if there's nothing else underneath it. I don't think that's gonna be the case because it's just not a very bright pop and shade, but it's worth trying. I'm just looking for a brush. Pardon me, BRB. I'm gonna pick that up in a BH number 9. It's just a little flat synthetic brush. And blend the edges again. You know what I'm thinking? I'm gonna go into the palette and grab a little bit of the color Blanc on a NABLA lip and detail brush, and I'm gonna pop that in the center of that Super Shock just to add a little bit more, hopefully, to just give it a little bit more of a pop, because I'm just not feeling like it's doing enough for me. That's also not doing a whole lot though. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, it doesn't look bad. This looks fine. I just feel like I'm wishing for a little bit more of a pop from one of the shimmers, you know? I just had like the fight of my life trying to get lashes on today. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Sometimes it's just a struggle, but they're on now, and here we are. They're House of Lashes Siren Double. I think they go really well with this look. Apparently they don't go really well with my face because my face was literally rejecting them up until 2 minutes ago. But I think they're on now, and if they're not, when I do the close-ups, what you're gonna do is just ignore that for me. Thank you so much in advance. For the lip, I kind of wanted to do like a deep wine red lip to go with this look, but it's not the mood I'm in, quite frankly. I want to do a matte nude, and like when I say a nude, like I mean like the nudiest of nudes. So I'm gonna line my lips with the Haus Labs Rule Lip Pencil, and in the middle I'm gonna use the Colourpop Luxe Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the color Ingenue. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be grand. And this is the second one. All right, let's talk about it, shall we? Overall, I don't think this is a bad collection. I just don't think it's anything special. I think it is perfectly nice if you like burgundy tones, if you like wine colors, if you like wine, but there's like literally nothing about this collection now that I have it in my hands that's like, oh yeah, I'm really glad I bought that. I like it better than every other version of this I already own. You know what I mean? The eyeliner is pretty mediocre. I felt like it was uneven and I had to go over it a bunch of times. And even when I did that, it still looked a little bit uneven because it's like a bit too shiny when you layer it over itself, which I don't love that. It's not my favorite. I probably won't be using it regularly. And quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed because I was excited for the prospect of a red liquid eyeliner. So here we are. The two Super Shock shadows. As far as Super Shocks are concerned, I think that these are some of the least exciting ones that I own, which, I mean, they're usually really beautiful. So like sometimes if you get a palette from Colourpop and there's Super Shock shadows that come along with it, specifically what comes to mind is the Raw Beauty Christie collection. It's like those Super Shock shadows really amplify what's going on in the palette already, and they're like a great accompaniment to it. I just don't feel like that's the case. I feel like you can really do without these, and the palette itself, it's fine, but it's just not all that exciting when you actually get down to the brass tacks of it all. I thought the color Grateful was gonna make me more excited for the rest of the palette because it is a little bit interesting, but it's just not that interesting on the eye. It is a sequin shade which does apply better with your finger, and I felt like I lost all of the glitter. So when I was like touching up my skin, like right before I put on my under eye concealer, I pressed it in with my finger to see if I could get a little bit more of the sequin texture to show up. And it did at first, and literally 30 seconds later it was gone. Finally, the packaging on this, first of all, I don't really love the plastic packaging on these palettes. I prefer the cardboard ones. But also, this is like the most phoned in, boring packaging I've ever seen from Colourpop pretty much in my life. Literally, they just like put text that doesn't even look like it was well thought out and like a little clip art of a flower, and it's not even about flowers, it's about wine. So what the fuck is that? I don't think the collection is bad. I think that if you pick this up and you really love those colors, you'll probably enjoy using it in that the quality is fine. But overall, it's one of the more boring ones from Colourpop that I've seen in a while. And that's saying something because these are some of my favorite tones. So with that being said, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think of this collection. If you did pick it up, if you won't pick it up, if you will pick it up, what you ate for lunch today. I don't care what you have to say, just say it in the comments down below. I want to hear it. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful or you just liked hanging out today, because I really appreciate it. And if you did enjoy hanging out and talking about makeup, don't forget to subscribe, because I would really enjoy having you around for more videos. Merch links are in the description. There should be a little bar under there with all the Barber merch if you're interested in that. Come find me over on Instagram if you want to keep up with me between videos. I'm at Miss Quinface over there, and I would love to have you. I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next one.